John Bolton is a former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and a Fox News contributor. That was in March. It's not like it happened 8 years ago. And so it appears that the Director of National Intelligence was caught in a lie, misleading, not being forthright. And you know as well as I do, Ambassador, that there's a way to handle things like that. I understand that our top intel officials can't reveal everything they know, but there is a proper way when you are asked something inappropriate for a public setting to handle a question. Did he handle that properly?
No, certainly not. But I have to say, I think the question was improper, too. You know, we're not playing gotcha here with national security. The senator should have known that the only possible answer to that question would need to be revealed in a closed session. And if what he really wanted was the information, there's certainly a way that it could have been provided to him. You know, the fact is NSA gets information on foreigners. And foreigners, this may be a surprise, sometimes call Americans. When a foreign terrorist calls a person in the United States, that call can be scooped up. And thank goodness.
But it's not just that. It's not just that. It's not just that.
The answer to the question, no, but this is important. The answer to that question is complicated, and it can only be given in a classified session. So asking it in a public way is inviting an embarrassed administration official. And I'm not defending Clapper. I think he's made hash of his job. But it's inviting an administration official to say, oh, well, mumble, mumble, Senator, I can only answer that in a closed session, which makes it look like he's got something to hide. So I come back to my more basic point. Playing gotcha with this kind of national security information is a mistake.
I got you. You don't like the question. But this is not some underling. I mean, it's the Director of National Intelligence, and there is a way of handling any difficult questioning without lying under oath. I mean, I practiced law for 9 years. You lie under oath, Ambassador. You take it to a different level. I mean, you are there. They want us now to come out and trust the program because they're saying, look, it has congressional oversight. Well, whether you like Wyden's question or not, that was the attempt at congressional oversight, and they're not being forthright.
Two things. I said a minute ago Clapper had made hash of his job. Okay, let me say it again. Clapper has made hash of his job, and that answer fits into the category. It was obviously the wrong answer. Second, nobody should take an argument from the administration that we should trust them to be a defense of the program. But what NSA has been doing here, the subject of all of this recent hysteria in the past couple days, was part of a program approved by Congress, repeatedly reviewed and systematically examined by Congress, carried out by the executive branch with the opinion of the Justice Department that its actions were legal and proper, and reviewed by an Article III court. So that count, by my count, is 3 branches of government approving the program. I don't know if we need more branches of government, but those are the 3 we've got. They've all approved of it.
I don't think that's the solution. Understood, but the question I'm trying to get at here is whether this administration would have been much better positioned, let's say 7, 8 to 10 months ago, right? Before we were told the White House and the State Department never touched those Benghazi talking points. Not true. Before we were told by Eric Holder, I've never even heard of the potential prosecution of a journalist for disclosure. Well, that's not true. At the time, he had talked about prosecuting James Rosen. He knew it, but we didn't. At the time when we had the IRS commissioner coming out and saying, we are not targeting conservatives. Not true. And now we've got Clapper on tape, and the administration in the wake of this revelation, even if you like the program, turns around and tells us, we got it. Trust us.
Look, there's a key difference between the 3 scandals and the NSA program. In the case of Benghazi, the administration was quite likely covering its political posterior weeks before an election. In the case of the IRS investigation of conservatives, we don't know all the answers, but it looks like persecuting the administration's opponents. Again, a political motivation. And similarly, in the subpoenas of the journalists, there does seem to be an interesting pattern of who actually gets investigated. The NSA issue is one where all 3 branches of government are trying to protect our national security.
And signed off on it. Hard break. Thank you. We'll be right back.